Okay, this is a Subarctic beekeeper, one of the many. I'm in my bee barn. I'm going to check on the bees. We're heading into the final week of February. You can see that this hive is still obviously alive. The bees have been hived up since October. These gals have been active all freaking winter long. The colony next to them had nosema, so I had to cull that colony. So I'm going to check on these. I'm going to open the lids, see who's looking good and who's not looking good. I'm going to add a pollen patty for the new babies that the queen started laying after winter solstice, but more likely more recently. Things happen a little later here in the far north. So I have to let go of this iPad to open up the lid. I'm up here on a ladder and I'm going to undo the strap, and I don't need to open this hive too much. Just need a peek. Check on the food stores and the activity level and the colony size. This is stiff. It's the only thing I don't like about these straps. I've got the strap unhooked. I'm going to just fold this over under the other hive. I'm going to move this strap, part of the strap, over here. Look at all that defecation on the wall. That's from the colony that had nosema. And you can see they defecated on this. So that's infected fecal matter. I do not want my bees to get to that. So the challenge is to keep them away from that, and I'm going to have to change their hive out for a clean hive. And I'll have to do that, not today, but another time. So I'm removing some of the metal tape that I use to seal it up. You can see there's some moisture on there. Not good, but not necessarily bad, because that moisture will help melt the sugar cake or the candy board, whatever you want to call it. And that helps that sugar be accessible to the bees. Alright, this is always a surprise. I suspect, well, they're going to be alive, right? Because I've already seen them. I've got this screen shrunk as far as it can shrink. Oh, listen to that sound. Look at that. Look at those beauties. They are definitely alive. Really nice, big, healthy colony. I'm thrilled. I am thrilled. They're eating the sugar cake. I'm going to add the pollen patty. That's the sugar cake you may have watched me make at the beginning of the season. And close that very gently. I've got my tiny pollen patty here that I made out of my super duper mixture. And I am going to hold the lid open. And I'm going to slide it over here, away from the cluster that's on the lid. It's not much. And I'm going to find the squirt bottle, the drizzle bottle, and I'm going to put a little bit on that pollen patty, a little bit on sugar, and a little bit on there just to make it accessible. Got a nice healthy colony. I'm happy with that. I'm going to close this up. I've got some bees crawling on me, that's fine. And then I'll move on to the next hive. I'm going to put this tape back on. Keep the warmth in the hive. As you know, bees don't heat the hive, they keep the cluster warm. keep that clean warm. Trying to do this with one hand is not easy. I'm really excited about this colony. And I'll need to put a little patch right here. And then I'll move to the next hive. Hive number 5 is doing great. We're going to move on to hive number, this is why you got to number your hives. Hive number, we'll call it the hive with the red flowers. So you can see there's a lot of bees at the entrance. This colony has been active up in moving around this entrance here till a week or so ago. I'm going to leave that clogged up so when I open the lid I don't have to face the wrath of unhappy bees. I'm going to try to do this with one hand. Boy, it's making a lot of noise, huh? That's surely to wake them up. Arouse them from their peaceful winter state. This is going to be a difficult one to get rehinged because the long part is not close to me. So I'm going to move this hive over. Hive with the red flowers. I moved it over, ready to check it. When I moved it over, it was really light. That has me a little bit, well, it gives me information. It gives me information. Here's my stash down here. I had to kind of put it away so I could move the hives over. I've got these little pollen patties here. This would be just fly out. It's cold in here in this room. I'll check the temperature real quick. These gals don't care. Anyone who says that they go into a chill coma this early is nuts. Well, no, I suppose that they do in other areas. But here, they're having a party. Let's get the temperature, just so we can see if they're really having a party. All right. Go over here to the thermometer, and we've got what? 40 degrees. Perfect. Supposed to have slowed their metabolism down a lot so that they're not using their energy in consuming stores. That's not happening. Their metabolism is going just fine. That's something I don't want. All right, here we go. Let's check and see what we got here. Well, we got no activity. And that falls in line with when I looked at this hive with my floor camera, it showed no hot spots. So a couple things could be going on here. This colony could be dead. As you see, they made it up to the stores. They're not still eating the stores that I can see. They may be farther down in the hive, so it's something I'll need to check. They were super, super active, or they have been super active this whole winter. And wrap it up. And I will come back and check by going deeper into that colony, figure out what's going on. I'm not going to add a pollen patty. I'm going to open this entranceway all the way and pull some of these bees, test them for nosema and mites, even though I have been way generous with the mite treatments and with the nosema preventative measures. These bees here are dead. I'm going to leave those there because I'll pull them to test them. Surprising, because this colony was super active and super strong. Now we're going to go down to the blue hive. Got my metal tape to reseal the hives. Some pollen patties. Some paper towels. Why paper towels? I don't know. Why not? Alright, so this colony is sending out shooters at me. Give me warning signs. I'm gonna move my bench here and get her out of the way. I don't remember if I saw any light on this hive or not. So reasons that a colony could die. Lots. Lots. Not enough new bees. If the queen wasn't laying into fall, there would be no winter bees that would be populating the colony right now. Not enough stores. We've got enough stores. I hear no activity. I see no activity. I do see some dead bees. I need to come back and check this one. So the bee losses this year have been astronomical. Instead of the normal 50%, which is horrible, people have been seeing 100%. I wonder if that's from Tropilelaps, the new mite on the scene. So we're going to look at next. I thought maybe I hadn't made it, but since I moved the tape away from the entranceway, you can see a few bees have come out to die. I did look at it with my FLIR camera and saw some heat coming out the back lid area. I want to move this hive next to the hive I just checked so they can share a wall and stay warm. And so I'm going to move this hive first, and then I'm going to check it and see what we got inside. I've moved this hive, and this hive here, now that I've gotten the light, has some defecation on it. So I'm not going to put it right up against another hive. I'm going to have to test it for nosema virus. I hope it's not infected. I will put a piece of foam board between these two, and I'm going to open this one up to see what's happening. I'm opening it from this side. So if there are bees up in here, they don't go towards the other hive, infect them if they do have nosema virus. I'm going to rip this tape, and then I'll patch it. I'm not taking the tape all the way off, I'm just taking off a couple sides. What do we got? There's your bets. Oh, that's freaking glorious! Look at that. Oh, you can hear my excitement. Now, we've got some defecation inside the hive. We don't want that, but that is a big old colony. I need to do something here. I need to go back into the shop and get another sugar board. I had made some extras in the fall for this purpose, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that in here, and I'm going to substitute it out. I'm also going to make up a quick batch of fumagillin syrup and treat these bees for nosema virus. Well, this might be a first. I had a hive outside, freezing cold. I did out from a colony I adopted this fall. Since it had been freezing, there's nothing in it that could hurt my bees. Now, I'm going to prop my phone up and see if I can record what I'm going to do. Alright, I'm going to see what I can get here. See if I'm able to record this. I hope so. If not, a whole lot of wasted space on my phone. All right, hive full of frames. See how these gals are doing. They're all on the bottom of the hive. Oh, some of them are on the frames. Some of them have found some food. Got a good sized colony there coming out of winter. Another month to go. I'm going to add those frames that I took out. I've got all my frames in. Here's my extra sugar board. I'm going to gently lift that up. No, I'm not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a strip of fumagillin on the tops of these frames. I don't want to do this particularly because what it does is it causes the bees to have to defecate, and they've got another month in here. But it's got the medicine in it that they need, and they will come up and feed on it. I'm going to lay that sugar board right on top of my polystyrene hive that was not made to accommodate a sugar board. Push it down as much as it'll go down. I've got a new clean lid. Hard to do this with one hand. Sorry, guys. All right, lid is on. I'm going to tape it up, and I'm going to stick it right there next to this colony that we already looked at. So I've got to turn the camera off again. This is going to be the last hive that I look at today. It's my Ukrainian hive. It still has a feeder on it. How'd that happen? These might have been adopted bees of whom I was trying to feed and feed and feed, so maybe they'd put up some stores, but they were too far gone. I'm going to get into here, dig out the entrance. This hive started humming, so it's promising. The problem with leaving feed on is that it contributes to moisture. The less moisture, the better. They're already going to produce enough moisture with their respiration that will soften the sugar cake. So I'm going to get into this hive now. I'm going to end this because it's too hard to do with one hand. And I will see you another time. Take care of yourselves, take care of your bees. Ukraine is winning. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Stand up and speak up for your rights. The current administration is taking us into a very dark, deep fascist zone of his own agenda and his followers. If you haven't recognized that, check your news source and get the facts. This video is copyrighted and all rights are reserved. Take care. I just wanted to show you this colony. It's spilling over the sides. This is the one that I left the feeder on. Very surprising. But I took that feeder off. I'm going to add a pollen patty and some sugar cake and close her back up with a new lid. Now we're all done.